Welcome back to another tutorial with PixumWeb. In this episode, we're going to go over the WordPress user roles, how you can find them in the dashboard, how you can create them and manage them. So in order to do so, log into your website dashboard, and then on the left-hand side, you're going to see the users link. If you hover or click on that, you'll see a pop-out, and we're going to click All Users. As you can see, we only have one user set currently, and you see the user information, username, full name, email address, user role, and the post attributed to that person. If you want to edit a user, you can click on the edit screen, and as you see, you have a couple of more options. You can change the background colors to suit your needs, and you can edit the name information, how they're publicly displayed, any other information pertaining to that person, biographical information, social media accounts, things of that nature. And if you want to generate a new password, or if you want to log out from everywhere, like if you use a public computer, you can log out from everywhere. So if you do anything, just update the profile and your settings will be saved. So all users. Now, besides the administrator, which the administrator is the overall owner of the website itself, they have full management capabilities. They can upload themes, plugins, they can manage the content of other users, they can edit other users and user roles, things of that nature. But besides the administrator, you will find that you have 4 other user roles that you can use. So we're going to create the editor user role. We'll just copy that, paste, make that lower. And we're going to call this person John Doe. We'll give them the user role of editor. Now the editor can publish his or her own content, and they can manage the content of other users like authors and contributors. So an editor is similar to an editor in a newspaper or magazine publication, where they are pretty much in control of the content on the website. They handle things like reviewing content, editing content, sending revisions, things of that nature. So if you create a new user and give them a user role, you will see they pop up here. So we have the editor, John Doe, the email, the user role, and the posts that are attributed to them. So now let's add an author. The author user role. Now mind you, the username, I'm just giving them the actual user roles for demonstration purposes. But in a production site, the username should be something unique for that individual. But for here, just for demonstration purposes, I'm just putting author here. So for that, you put the person's username, email, and we'll call this one Jane Doe, and we're going to give them the author user role. Now the author can publish his or her own content onto the website, and they don't need to be reviewed by an editor or an admin. This user role is typically set by someone who you trust, who you know, or who has proven to be a good candidate to publish and manage their own posts on your website. So this one is a good role for those purposes. So when you create the user, you add the new user, and you see they're added here. Now the next user role is a contributor. The contributor user role is set for a prospective author, typically, and that person is someone who you want to initially monitor their content and see if there's any things that need to be edited or revised before being published. So the editor or the administrator would review the contributor's content and then publish it. The contributor user role cannot publish their own content, but they can create their own content for review, again, by an editor or administrator. So we'll call this person John Smith. So this is the contributor. And as you see, you have the user roles up here, and it shows you, because you can have more than one site admin, which typically is not the best solution unless you have a partnership set up with the roles and capabilities clearly defined between you and your partner in the business. But you can have the editor, one editor, two editors. You can have like 10 authors if you want. If you have a large blog or website that you want to have multiple authors, can add content to your site. You could also have more than one contributor. And then the final user role is the subscriber. Now the subscriber user role is the least privileged user role on a website. All they can really do is just manage their own profile, and they're just subscribers of your site. So this is typically the default user role for new people added to your site. As you see, it's already pre-selected there, and you would have to manually select a different user role. So we're going to just click Add New User. And as you see, we have the 5 user roles here. We have the admin, administrator. We have the author, contributors, editors, subscribers. If you click on the link, you'll see all your administrators or all your editors, authors, contributors, subscribers. If you want to edit information about that individual, again, you just click on the edit button and you'll be able to edit their user profile with any additional information that needs to be provided. And if you want to delete a user role, you just simply click the delete button, and then you can choose to delete all content of that individual, or you can attribute it to another user on your site. So we'll just confirm deletion, and that user has been deleted. So in this episode, we went over the WordPress user roles, where you can find them in the dashboard of your website, how you can manage and create them, and when you would use them. Again, the administrator is the owner of the website itself. They have the most privileges. They can manage the entire website via the dashboard. The editor is the second in command, typically, and they have control over their content and the content of authors and contributors. Authors can self-publish their content on your site. Contributors can create content for your site, but that content needs to be reviewed by an administrator or an editor. And a subscriber is someone that just subscribes to your website. Thank you for watching this episode by Pixelweb. Hopefully you enjoyed the content and found it informative. If you have any ideas, thoughts, suggestions, or comments, please leave them in the comment section below and we'll get back to them as soon as we can. And don't forget to subscribe, since we'll be adding new content to this channel on a continuous basis to help empower you to manage your online identity. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe.